en la cabeza. Mira, todas las personas aquí en mi casa y muchas personas me dijo, ¿qué? El señor me dijo,
It's like
¿qué?
you sound distressed. I want to listen. I want to help you. I just don't know what you're talking about.
Personas vienen en mi casa y me dijo, mira, ¿dónde está la manzana? Me dijo, no sé, pero el señor, ¿cómo se dice?
How am I supposed to help you? This is like, it sounds like the case of the missing apple. And I'm like, I don't know. Don't know.
La manzana en la cabeza. No,
¿Dónde está, amiga? ¿Dónde está la manzana?
No, won't stop. The way that I keep to deliver.
SJ.
I'ma make these haters reconsider.
BBC.
And I kick back,
Oh,
stay
yeah.
high up for life.
Oh, yeah.
And I won't stop.
I won't stop, I can't stop, even if I try. I won't stop, I can't stop, even if I try. I won't stop, I can't stop, even if I try. Even if I try.
Hello, and welcome to Y'all Boys Talkin', a podcast about nonsensical improvement, where each week we not only talk about bettering ourselves, but how we can help you better yourself by hearing us better ourselves. My name is Joshua Jean-Baptiste.
Frank Hernandez.
And I'm Maximo Santana.
And our fourth co-host, Steve Delantina, is actually out this week. He is in the midst of wedding week. My dog get married, so he's handling that business, which we will allow him to do. That being said, you're stuck with us three. But either way, the four of us have developed a concept over the years called STTT. In our adulthood, we have used it to motivate ourselves. And Max, why don't you explain what STTT is straight to the top?
Oh, man. STTT is like throwing together some good jambalaya. And you know what? You're going to need a nice, solid foundation of rice.
Oh.
Which is just keeping your eyes on the prize.
Okay. All right.
And identifying your goals. You're going to need some paprika.
Oh, yeah.
Which is just like, variety, the spice of life.
That's what it's all about.
Yeah. And then, baby, whatever you add to that is up to you. Add some meat, some potatoes, some onions, some prawns. And that's grit, determination, hard work, perseverance. Put it all together, put it in a pot. 4 to 6 hours later, you got yourself all your goals right there. You got gold-flavored jambalaya right there.
Zatarans.
Yeah, that's what STTT is all about.
STTT, straight to the top, is Zatarans.
Yeah, brought to you by Zatarans, the San Francisco treat.
Who knew that'd be our first sponsor, Zatarans? It's not really our sponsor. I was just like to clear that up right there. They're not giving us any money.
I got a question for you guys. Top 3 cereals from your childhood. Go.
Oh, I've been ready for this my entire life. Reese's Puffs, Cocoa Krispies, and Lucky Charms sometimes. But I also like to give a special shout out to Kix, even though it doesn't really taste like anything. But like Kix tastes like I don't know. Kix. There's something to Kix.
Kix did just enough.
Yeah. I want to. You know what? I'm gonna spend all 3 of mine to have a moment of silence for Corn Pops. They just disappeared off the shelves. Don't nobody know what happened to Corn Pops.
What?
They were all over in the 90s, and I have not seen a box since 2004. Oh, you know what happened to Corn Pops? Let me know, please.
Mine were Reese's Puffs.
Yes.
What was the Golden Grams? Ooh.
Oh, Golden Crisp. Oh, wait, Golden Grams
Grams.
or Golden Crisp? There's the 2 different cereals.
Wait, what? The square,
Yeah.
Okay, that
was Grams, yeah.
right? Yeah, the square. Golden Grams, and then low key Honey Nut Cheerios hit the spot, bro.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, Cheerios, all right.
It blows my mind how much we ate so much cereal as fucking kids. Man.
It's all sugar,
breakfast, lunch,
yo.
and dinner, yeah. Like,
And then I'm like, they have vitamins in there? Oh, straight up. That's all I'm eating then.
yeah, I'm eating vitamins, yeah.
Vitamins. This is what's good for me, right? If it puts 70 on the side of the box, that's all I need. And also, like, it's just a shit ton of sugar and all this stuff. But hey, shout out to Golden Crisp, which is also like fucking 40 grams of sugar per bite, and Honey Smacks.
Honey Smacks. On that note, our first segment, ladies and gentlemen, we're gonna get right into it. Our STTT of the week. Cue sound.
STTT of the week.
STTT of the week is a person, place, or thing that has inspired us, that exemplifies straight to the topness. And this week, we will give grace, gratitude, and honor to the one and only motherfucking GOAT, Miss Simone Biles. So this week, Simone Biles made a splash in the news because it turns out that the organization of international gymnasts officials, they decided to basically discourage other gymnasts from trying what Simone Biles does. There was some complications with the goals, how she got graded on a risky move that she did, and they basically came to a consensus that, like, they should not be trying skills that they are not physically incapable of doing. The International Gymnast Federation basically watered down the value of a new element that Simone Biles is like trying to like do, which is kind of whack, but kind of inspiring. Where the fact that you are so dope that you are literally in a league of your own. Obviously, I think that they should, let her do it. Like, step it up, everybody. I ain't gonna cry racism, but I just wonder if she was someone else, if this would have been an issue. But point being, she is awesome. Also to the point where they named 2 moves after her: the Biles 1 and the Biles 2. So Simone Biles is continuously inspiring little black girls out here trying to get to the top or their respective tops. It's inspiring for me. I'm really glad she's out here making a splash on a world stage and literally changing the infrastructure of how they decide what is good and what is bad. Shout out to you, Simone Biles. It sucks that they are not recognizing your value, and you're obviously gonna keep on keeping on. So shout out to you and flip them flips, girl. What y'all boys think?
When you're so STTT, when you like reached a brand new top that no one else has ever reached before, and then they have to make new rules to like adjust for this new top, you're doing the right thing, number one. And sometimes those rules always don't seem fair when they first are handed down. And of course, they're only going to affect the one person that has hit that highest of notes. Yeah. So it does seem unfair right now, but they're doing it for safety of athletes, and there's only one Simone Biles, and someone's probably gonna go out there and break their neck trying to do a triple twisty muck flip 365-40.
Or the Biles 1, the Biles 2.
The Biles 1, I'm sorry.
Biles 1 and Biles 2.
Right. So in that respect, I'm here for it, but it does suck that like they also had to take away some of her difficulty just because she's literally the only person in the world that can do those techniques. But
yeah, man, she's the
means
GOAT.
you're in the right place.
She's the GOAT. She's hanging out with the best of them. Shout out to you, Simone. Keep on keeping on. You're the GOAT and all that good stuff. We're going to take a quick break to get to the meat and potatoes of our episode of the show and all that good stuff. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back.
Hi, I'm a man that loves me some sweets. And with spooky season in full effect, it's high time for high fructose. With all the tricks and treats to eat, make sure to add some moderation in your belly. What's worse than a crazy mass killer? Diabetes. Happy Halloween.
We are back. Now is the time for the meat and potatoes of our episodes, our challenge checkup. Cue sound. Challenge checkup! So long ago, Max came up with this idea to give each other New Year's resolutions, which we like to call challenges. And we formed that concept into the premise of our last saga. We followed the ups and downs over the course of about 20-something weeks on how we progressed in achieving these goals. This time around, we've switched it up. We still have 3 challenges, but the first one is a personal challenge, something that we've given ourselves. The second one is a friend challenge, which is something that everyone here has given one person. And our community challenge, which is a challenge that has some sort of impact to the community. Now, there are some stakes to this, Frank.
Our deadline to complete these goals is March 1st, 2020. And we must complete all these goals by that time. If not, we will receive one of 4 punishments, which include a week without any recreational internet, 2 weeks without any entertainment whatsoever, 3 weeks by just eating one type of meal for breakfast, lunch, and dinner, or because we love our facial hair so much, we will have to lose it for an entire month and go all baby face.
Come on.
But if we complete all these challenge, we will each receive a Y'all Boys Talkin' Championship belt.
That's gonna be exciting.
And
I'm gonna
yeah.
wear my belt to the club.
Oh my gosh, yeah. And the more effort we put in throughout the saga, the cooler belt we'll get. The less effort we put in, the less cool belt we get. But we all win, and we all get belts, all on our way to the top.
All right, let's get into it. Frank, why don't you start us off? How was your week, bro?
Oh man, how was my week? Well, let's talk about these goals. I got 3 of them. I got a personal goal, which is to complete 4 music videos. I've got a community goal to become a mentor for big brothers and big sisters. And I have a friend goal, which is to cook twice a week with 1 new recipe every single week. Okay.
All right.
So let's get trash out of the way. So as far as the music videos go, I didn't do a thing. I did not do a thing. It was a tough week, which I'll get into my thorn. Not nearly as tough as a couple weeks ago, but a lot of it is just me done goofing. And so that is an F, just right off the bat.
Wow. Do you know how you can alleviate that, Frank?
Yeah. So this is gonna be Steve's wedding week. So it's gonna be a little bit shorter, but I kind of indulged a bit too much into the old party favors.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Okay. So and figuring out my way around that, basically stopping entirely, will probably help it. But yeah, that did not help my motivation or like moving forward towards anything this week. So, cutting that out will probably help out through it.
Okay.
So moving on to my friend goal, to cook twice, 1 new recipe. So I got a new recipe. So the recipe I did this week was chicken skewers with peanut sauce. I'd always been a fan of like Thai food and trying out like different Thai dishes, and peanut sauce has always been something I'd like drench on everything. So to be able to make my own, I was really excited to do. So the chicken came out really cool. It was the first time I ever like marinated something. So I put it like in a bag. I was just like, I left it there for like a day, and then I came out and I cooked it, and everything's like juicy and delicious. So the chicken itself came out really good. The peanut sauce ended up being trash. Like I put a little too much soy sauce in it, and it was basically like I was just eating mounds of salt.
Oh God.
That had like some peanut butter in there somewhere. It's just like the saltiest peanut butter I've ever fucking had.
You had salt with peanut butter.
Salt with peanut butter is what my peanut sauce ended up tasting like. So I just kind of like scrapped it after like 2 bites, and I just ate the skewers. So that was really good. And then I bought the ingredients for something else, and I didn't cook again that week. So I only cooked once this week with 1 new recipe. So I think that's a C. What do y'all think?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
I mean, yeah.
Nah.
Yeah.
It's a C.
That's a C. What's
Okay.
half of an A?
I mean,
half is an F. Like an A
Oh,
is a
never
100.
well, yeah,
half
it's not that.
is a 50. But no, I don't think we're
All
going
right.
to those rules.
High C. High C.
High C. All right. Well,
all right,
they're all the
swag.
same.
Yeah, you're right.
Okay. And lastly, with Big Brothers Big Sisters, I had the orientation last week. It was awesome. I loved it. It was everything I wanted, and I was so gosh darn excited to get started. And the next step would be to get the interview. So after the orientation, they're like, all right, we're all going to be sending you emails to when we're going to set up the interviews. I'm like, all right, dope. So I met a friend in that thing, so I've been keeping in contact with her, like, hey, did you hear anything? What's going on? So I've stayed in contact with her all week. So Monday, no email. Tuesday, no email. I'm like, what's going on? So on Tuesday night, I send an email like, hey, y'all, I'm Frank Hernandez. I went to your orientation last week. What's going on? And so they send me and my friend an email back, and I'm just going to read you a couple like important lines from that very email.
Okay.
Now that you know more about our organization, please take the time to evaluate if this is the right time for you to commit to the program. If you decide you are ready to make the commitment now, the next step is to come in for an in-person interview. At this time, due to capacity, we will be reaching out to you the beginning of next year to schedule an in-person interview.
Oh, like January.
You will receive a link with instructions to schedule your interview at that time. So, all of a sudden, I was just like, let's fucking go. And this email is just like, maybe January.
Okay.
So, I don't want to take a bunch of bio weeks.
Yeah.
So much in the vein of like Josh, of just like, hey, I need to still, I still want to be useful. I still want to be helpful throughout that time. So what I was thinking of doing is, I was thinking about what I said on last week's podcast, where I was just like trying to like double down. I'm like, I don't know things, so that is my strength.
Ignorance can be a strength.
Ignorance is strength, and
I don't know about that.
I don't know about that one.
exactly.
But continue.
I know, no, and so I doubled down. So I've been doing some thinking since that time, and especially because I have all this space between now and the eventual interview, and then when I'm eventually brought to a kid or whatnot. So I actually do want to research about hanging out with kids with trauma and things that are just things that I don't know about. There's a lot that I know, and my ego made me believe that, yeah, I got this, because I was, in a single guardian household, because I was, I had free and reduced lunch, because I am a kid of color, the demographic that serves Big Brothers Big Sisters the most. Because I'm like that, like, oh, this is all the stuff I'll need. But at the same time, like, that could cloud me from giving good instructions, because it doesn't fit within my universe. It doesn't fit with how Frank dealt with it, or how it was dealt with Frank. So yeah, I'm going to reach out to that listener who knows way more about children and this particular thing about like helping to mentor or like trying to guide kids in a better way. And I'm going to ask for some books, some recommendations. And I would like to adjust my challenge until like, I get the in-person interview, that I have to read these books between now and then.
Okay. That's proactive.
You have pretty much 3 months to do that. So
yeah,
October,
so I'm
November, December.
Okay.
Yeah. So
Cool.
boom.
So you give yourself an A, yeah? No.
I do give myself an A, because I did all the things I needed to do for the actual thing, and that email kind of just like, and we're gonna do this later. I'm like, oh, cool. Yeah. So there's really not much I can do for that, but I do believe I get an A this week.
Yeah,
Okay,
and
perfect.
you now have a plan for what you're going to do in the future. So I like that. I can agree with that.
Cool. Shout out to education.
Yep.
All right. Cool. All right. Moving along. Max, what you got for us?
Guys, I got 3 challenges. My personal challenge is to enter 3 rock climbing competitions. My friend challenge is to release a 5-track violin EP. And my community challenge is to join the Tech Workers Coalition. So let's start there. Last week, I've been struggling with this goal because it's hard to put things on the calendar. I haven't been able to keep up with them online. So I did reach out to somebody that I used to work with who was much more involved than I was. And I was like, yo, where do you find out about these events? What can you tell me about that's going on? And can you share with me any resources you have, right? And this person hooked me up.
Yes.
So they let me know about a few different groups that are, like, I guess, tangentially related, but between all of them, they do enough that I can say I'm helping out with tech workers getting their rights and their ideas heard in California. So it'll probably look like me working with a few different groups, but I think I'll ultimately be able to say I'm helping out this community as long as I keep working with those groups. So there's a bunch of other groups like Silicon Valley Rising and the Democratic Socialists of America also have a lot of groups where, they're advocating for everyone to unionize and get their rights at work. And that's exactly what I'm talking about here. So when they have events that overlap with this population that I'm trying to help out here, I'll definitely be helping out there. So although I didn't do anything in particular with like direct action this week, I'll give myself a C for reaching out, having a conversation, getting some resources, and lining myself up for the coming weeks. How do you guys feel?
Okay. Yeah.
How do you feel, Josh?
Yeah.
Frank, what you think?
We're big into like non-conceptual work, but
Correct.
I will give you the C because you did reach out and talk to someone, which is something I wanted you to do for a couple of weeks now, because they're doing something. They're figuring something
they're
out
there. Yeah.
And like, how can it be more helpful? You went in, asked the right questions, and hopefully in future weeks, like, you can really put some boots to the ground.
Absolutely. My friend goal is to release a 5-track violin EP album. And this week, did a lot of conceptual work.
Oh, no.
But in terms of actual like violin time practice, did I do a lot? No, not too much this week, boys. Unfortunately.
Okay.
So I have no shame in giving myself a big fat F for not putting things down. But I still do feel like I am making progress towards that. I really, I went to a performance. Pandora has this event called Pandora Performs, and those jam sessions where just employees come and play music like themselves, which is great. And there's so many musicians. Cool. So many musicians at that company. So many people in bands. So many like guitarists, vocalists. There are people like singing opera, like classically trained musicians and all that stuff. And I was like, I am not practicing nearly as much as, and a lot of those people don't really practice too much. You know, they're all like software engineers and marketers and salespeople and stuff like that nowadays. But they still like just have the chops that they picked up from way back when. And I'm like, I'm certainly not picking those chops up the level I'm practicing right now. So it was a little kick in the ass and more conceptual work that said to me, like, I really need to get my fundamentals down in order to do anything like this. But I haven't been doing that. It's enough. Personal goal: to compete in rock climbing competitions. Boys, I feel like I'm gonna give myself a solid B this week.
Okay.
Had 3 workouts, went to the gym twice, and had 1 workout at home when going to the gym was inconvenient, which to me is a win.
Okay.
And I got some rock climbing shoes last week, and I was able to put them through the paces this week. And I think I climbed a hurdle this week in terms of I've been having like, I guess, a little bit of anxiety being a novice climber going to a gym. And like there's, you know, like when you're learning to ski, there's like the bunny slopes, right? And it might feel like, you know, you're an adult with all your like equipment on and stuff. You got your visor and your skis and everything. And then you're going down the bunny hill next to these kids and you're like, I don't like how this feels, right? But you kind of have to start there, right? Like if you're ever going to, you know, go to like Devil's Peak or something, right?
It's like doing YouTube tutorials and learning it from a 7-year-old.
Absolutely.
It's just like, all right, guys, so you're going to open up Java.
yeah. That's where I'm at right now. But I recently overcame my fear of like going to like the climbing bunny slopes, which are just like the, they have like all these numbers that'll show you how difficult the courses are. And of course, I'm at literally 0, 1, 2 is like where I'm at right now. But I would have anxiety before I got to those because, of course, the only people on those are like the kids that are just learning to climb. But I got over it myself, and I was like, I really don't care. I need to start. I need to get up on these courses if I'm actually going to get to any place higher. So that was like a mental hurdle that was stopping me. But I feel like I really got over that this week, and I was like, I really don't care if I'm next to these children. I look like a kid my damn self anyway, so might as well. No one's really gonna notice, you know. Like it's really I need to get over myself in order to actually climb up these things. So I feel like that was significant for me. So that's why I gave myself a B, or else I would have given myself a C. But I feel
the hardest hurdle you need to climb is yourself.
Oh, that's what this rock climbing challenge is actually teaching me.
Damn,
kind of scary. Damn. How do you guys feel about that? B.
Yeah.
You got anything else to that, Josh?
Well, you know, I mean, look.
Very agreeable Mickey is what you sound like.
Yeah.
Oh boy, what happened?
Yeah.
I would say that, you know, equipping yourself with tools is important.
Yeah.
And the fact that you went ahead and did that, you got them, you put them on, you decided to pick yourself up by your rock straps, and you were aware of your weakness.
Yeah.
You accepted it.
Oh yeah.
And then the action that you took towards to getting that, you went ahead and did.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So that to me screams, if not bellows, progress. So I'll honor that B.
Got it.
I'd like to do a Frank first. I'd like to throw it up to an A.
Oh. I will never say no to that.
I say an A because you still did the work in the gym. But also the mental progress that you made, I think should be commended. Yeah. Because again, the biggest hurdle is yourself, and like that's something through my own stuff that I am like, I need to constantly be getting over, be climbing these hurdles and stuff like that. So the fact that you got over just that simple thing, where just like I don't want to look like this little kid, you know, like all that, you know, you want to be like a grown up. You want to be like a grown up, like all the grown ups doing all the big.
I'm a big boy.
I'm a big boy.
Yeah,
and stuff there, but taking a step back, which is why I took a step back about like this whole Big Brothers Big Sisters thing. So seeing the work that you've been putting into it, plus the fact that you got over this week, I would say an A. What do you think?
You know what? Yeah, let's do an A. Let's do an A, Max.
Hey, I'm A-okay with that A.
All right, cool.
A it is. Josh, what you got cooking up in the books?
Oh, well, book soup.
Ew.
Oh wow! I okay, sure.
I've always never tried book soup.
I'm not. Nope.
Tell us more.
Men are from Mars, women are from Venus. Chowder is amazing. Shout out to the book nerds. So my challenges are, my friend challenge is to remain sober for 90 days. It's 60 of those days being consecutive. My community goal is to try to get speed bumps installed in my neighborhood, because those motherfuckers be drag racing. And my personal goal is to write a one-person show. So I'll start with my community project, which I have used, I'm still waiting for them to hit me up. But in lieu of that, I decided to attach like a workout regimen to that goal, primarily working out with my mother. Guys, my mom is really elusive. It's hard to lock down. She works overnight. She's usually mostly tired most of the time.
Got it.
And then our schedules literally are not lining up.
So what does that mean?
I worked out 3 times this week.
Oh, nice.
I mean, I can only control myself.
Yeah.
So, because it's been like 3 weeks in a row, I'd rather just kind of just make this about me working out instead of like trying to attach my mom. Because I'm trying.
Yeah, and I wouldn't want that to be the reason why you
Yeah.
failed, because you can't control someone else's schedule or anything like that.
Yeah, it's just becoming really hard. She's gonna be off like on vacation for like in like 2 weeks, so she's like, "Oh, we'll do it then." I'm like, "All right, mom."
Okay.
So
As long as you're trying, I like that.
But I worked out, so I think I'm giving myself an A for that.
Okay, I like that. Uh-oh.
Like if you would have said B, I'd be like, yeah, that'd be awesome.
But
because obviously the thing with your mom, but you can't control like your mom's thing. But you did make the goal one time with your mom, 3 times working out.
You're right. Okay, so I guess a B.
I would give you a B for that, and then I'd also, just as a thought experiment, you don't have to think about it this week, but just like over the week, maybe you could bring it to us like next time. Thinking about like if there's another like community-esque thing that you can incorporate. Like Max brought up CrossFit a while back. And
that's pure community.
It's so community. It's so
but
community.
like is that having impact?
Right.
Like I'd rather say I go to a
true.
soup kitchen once a week or some shit. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
True. But like, yeah, if this is just another way you can find to like really better the world around, because it just feels like another personal goal.
Yeah,
is my whole thing about it. Because like I 100% want you to work out. Please keep doing it. It's awesome. It's good for you. Blah blah, etc. We talked about this in the first saga ad nauseum. But as far as Saga 2, as far as this, as far as like what we're doing here, I would love if you still worked out, but if there was still something that I'm
gonna try to find a deed or something where I can do something that betters the community. I mean, I was a really supportive friend to a couple people this week. I don't know if that counts, but.
I mean, y'all boys talking always. We're down for being a good friend. We're all about the house of y'all approves good friendships.
I'll think about that. Cool.
Okay.
My friend goal, being sober, gentlemen. I am at 35 days.
Boom.
God dang.
I'm going. I'm rolling, and I'm literally hitting 60 days on my birthday. I'm still figuring out whether I want to get lit as fuck because it is my 30th.
Yeah.
But as of right now, I'm just gonna keep the train going.
Okay.
It all depends on whether or not I can get a warehouse, because I'm trying to throw a warehouse party.
Oh my god.
So if I do have a warehouse party, I'm probably gonna be getting lit.
Got it.
But either way, my sobriety's been great. I'm gonna keep that going.
Boom.
Nice. Sounds like an A.
It's solid A.
Excellent.
And for my one-person show, my personal goal, I'll give myself a C. I'll give myself a B.
Okay.
I'll give myself a B.
Tell us what you did.
I saw a one-person show this week, a full-length one-person show. My old professor performed it at a theater down here. It was phenomenal. It was wonderful. He kept the audience engaged for 90 minutes with just him on stage. And it couldn't have been more timely. I saw, I kind of had to turn off my audience brain and turn on my writer brain to like look at everything that was working and why I liked it.
Yeah.
And I directly translated all of the things that I learned into my own work. I started writing the outline. The need, desire of the character. I still did more background work, like more groundwork, as far as like what devices I'm going to be using. I figured out the contract of the story. It's going to be about an artist applying for a grant. That's his like desire, but then like what he needs to realize is that he's full of shit, and that his work is not as deep as he thought, and that if he really wants to become a profound artist, he's going to need to do a lot more digging, which means getting a lot more in touch with himself. So once I locked in the contract, the main driving force of the story, that propelled me into the outline. So I laid out an outline via the anatomy of story. So the need, desire, the what they want, the obstacles that are going to come our way. It's still early, but I started writing the outline, so I'm in there now. So I'm in some.
You started an outline. I
started an outline, and I started filling out the outline.
Yes, both of those are important.
So I'll give myself a B because I did that. I mean, like watching the show really helped. I really like it. I no longer want to discount the fact that me constantly thinking about the show is a bad thing. But I am going to make sure to like write it down.
Action.
Action, exactly. So I did spend a lot of week thinking about it and processing it after I saw that show, but I did like sit down for like an hour and a half and just like wrote the stuff later on in the week. So I mean, I guess, yeah. So I'll give myself a B.
How do you feel about that, Frank? I like the sounds of that.
I would give you an A.
Oh,
Look, the reason I was so hard on you all these previous weeks about conceptual work is because it wasn't leading to action. All the conceptual work in the world will take you to the grave.
Right.
You'll conceptualize every wonderful thing you do in your life and then die. And these are facts. So like, I just want you to put some pen to paper. That's all.
Yeah.
That's all I truly was looking for you to do, because you can conceptualize it to the last month, and then like throw something out, but it's never going to be as good as like if you write something trash right now, and then you just revise and revise and revise and revise, and you have a beautiful diamond that you'll be really proud of to perform and to there. So I would go for an A just because like I really wanted you to fucking start this outline, and I'm really happy to hear that you actually gone ahead and did it.
You know what I'm saying? We out here, dog. We out here. That was a hell of a check.
Things were there, and oh man,
you said things, and the audience knows.
And boy, those opinions that I feel, oh man, I feel those opinions about that checkup.
it's great.
On that note, we're gonna take a quick break for our final segment. We're striving this week. We're moving along, and we're pushing the ball up the hill to the top. We'll be right back. Don't go anywhere.
It was a cold fall night. The air was brisk, and the glow of the moon kept my sights dim. The kids were asleep, but I had a sense that I needed to beat feet because there was a stench that was cruising full bruising. The whiff of something just caressed my face, but I wanted it to cut the gas. I checked the bathroom. No. Garage. No. It had to be the kitchen. A word from the bird told me this would happen. It was the garbage bin, filled to the rim with trash and all of his good-for-nothing wet rags-smelling friends. I clenched my fist. I grabbed the bag by his mug and gave him a hello, see you later to the dumpster. If you got a stench in your crib, toss out your garbage, or you'll sleep with the fishes, eh?
And we are back for our final segment, our rose, our thorn, and our bud. Cue sound.
Oh, I got my rose, I got my bud, I got my thorn. Here is the rose and the thorn and the bud of the week. I got my rose and my thorn and my bud.
Rosebud Thorn is an opportunity for us to give gratitude and grace to the weak and also honor the little misses that can happen. Your rose is something that happened this week that you're just really grateful for. It's really awesome. Your bud is something that you're looking forward to next week. And your thorn is something that was a bit of a thorn in your side. Whoa! Whoa! In your side.
Oh, jeez.
So why don't you start us off, Frank?
Okay, I got a thorn, rose, and a bud. I'm going to start off with the thorn that I alluded to earlier. So I purchased some party favors to hang out with a friend. I was just like, yeah, this would be cool. This would be fun to do. I feel like I had a good grasp of it for a bit. And then the moment they left, I'm like, well, I still have all these party favors. Well, I might as well just... So throughout the week, I just used it to my detriment. I've had an issue with party favors before, and it partially inspired the challenge for Josh. And I knew that, like, when I'm not constantly surrounded by party favors, my productivity, my happiness, everything kind of goes up a little bit. And having these, I can't put them as, like, the blame for myself, but it makes things easier. It makes slacking off easier. So, and that just affected my work and just, like, getting back to people and things of that nature like that. Was not a big fan of that. So that is 100% my thorn. But my rose is that I practiced what we like to call here CCC, clear, concise communication.
Yes.
With that old friend, and it was fantastic. Like, we really, like, dive deep on any issue that we may have had in the past. Everything that, like, was good, everything that was bad, and just trying to be as open and honest as possible. And I truly feel like any sort of, like, conflict or any sort of thing like that, hell, speaking about stuff off pod, Josh and I had a little talk too, where we also implied CCC, and it helps build strong relationships because tiffs and issues are going to come up anytime you spend a long amount of time with someone. So being open, being honest with that person is always really important, and I take that as a rose. And bud, which I think will be a very common bud within this particular group of boys, is that this week our boy Steve is getting married, and we will be there for his wedding, and it's going to be a lovely occasion. And I love weddings. I love the whole thing of it. And to have a very close friend. I've had a couple very close friends. I've been best man twice before, so it's always wonderful to see someone you truly care about have this wonderful moment in celebration. So I'm really excited for
Big
that.
Big Yeats. What you got for us, Max?
I got a thorn. I got a rose. I got a bud. My thorn is at work. I'm making a legal compliance training, which is as fun as it sounds.
Oh boy, I fell asleep halfway through you saying legal compliance.
Yep.
I'm sorry. What? Hey guys, sorry. What?
Yeah, it's my plan to make people stay awake for an hour-long training on the law. So
wow,
that's definitely a challenge, and I'm definitely making the best of it. So I'm theming it up. I'm making it fun. I'm trying to make it interesting. So we'll see how it goes. But oh boy, is it dense material to work through. But we're getting through it. My rose is went to see a show on Friday and fell in love with the opening act, which is a group called Drama from Chicago, and they make lo-fi Chobi study too, and it's just really, really funky music. Never heard of them before. My roommate took me to the show. SG Lewis was the headliner. Never heard of him either, but had a lot of fans. And it was a great show, and I definitely walked away a fan of the opening act, which I just love it when that happens. So that was my rose. And my bud is, listen, guys, I've been feeling like a snack ever since I've been hitting the gym with regularity. And two things reminded me of that this week. Number one is I go to the sandwich shop that's across the street from the office sometimes when I don't bring lunch to work. And this one cashier has been giving me deep discounts.
Yes.
And not like 10, 20%, like half off, and then like just pick up a drink, get the chips if you want. Don't even matter, right? I'm just like, why are you even taking the money in the first place? But I'm not a talker, when I'm going to get. It's not because of the light and fun conversation I'm having with this person. Like I'm an in and out type of dude, right? In terms of like just getting my meal and going. Patronage, yeah. But this person apparently has reason to give me a deep discount. I'm gonna go ahead and ascribe that to my physical presentation.
And not just that they're a irresponsible worker.
Just irresponsible employee.
Yeah, perhaps, but I don't see that going on. And then another one is just somebody that just started working in my building last 2 weeks started getting really friendly with me and having some conversation, and I'm glad they flirt like a 12-year-old, so it's very easy for me to identify what they're doing. Yeah. But no, this is a grown-ass adult that just thought they'd put the moves on me. And I'm like, I'm flattered, but no thanks. But
all right,
things like that are happening.
Snack season, dog.
Yeah, it's snack season for sure. And again, it could be because of my thrilling personality or,
or just the confidence that you feel now. Because confidence is something that
is very key. Yeah.
Yeah, it's true. So those people probably could be giving you discounts beforehand, but now that you know that like you've been accomplishing things on a regular basis, mentally and physically, then boom, the world is easier.
And that's the part where I definitely want to take this with a grain of salt. Like I'm acknowledging that these things are happening, but I also can't say for certain that these people are just like, seeing how I look and they like that. It could be for a number of reasons. Me myself, I'm going to choose to ascribe it to, me putting time in the gym. Makes it easier for me to continue to put time into the gym when I can say, like, these things are happening because of that. So that's my bud. Aside from the wedding's the real bud, but I don't want to talk about that since everyone else is already psyched.
Well, my rose, my thorn, and my bud this week. My thorn is that I had another bout of self-doubt this week. And
doubt round 2.
Self-doubt, a bout with self-doubt, so I shouted. But thankfully, I know amazing people in my life, and one of our beloved listeners actually gave me a very passionate, detailed written speech and pep talk that made me bounce right back to where I needed to go. Still, it's still kind of annoying to be brought out of alignment. I'm better now. My bud, or my rose, actually, this week is that I spent a couple different days just being a good friend this week. And I realized that's a big value that I have, just knowing how to be a good friend and just being there for people. And, it's something that it's easy to take for granted. But the fact that I am there for certain people, even if it's just the littlest thing, like a lot of people take that to heart, which is cool. And a friend of mine even today was just like, hey, thank you so much for recommending me to this film screening thing. And I was like, what? And it turns out a while ago I recommended someone to something, and then they screened that person's film, and I completely forgot about that. I was like, oh, great. So it's just nice to be able to be there for people, and the fact that I just really enjoy it. Also, we got a chance to get a gift for a friend of ours. And I really like gifts, and I just like being a good friend. So it was my rose in celebrating that. And my bud, outside of the wedding, is that I got selected to be a part of the Moth Grand Slam. The Moth is a storytelling slam, and they sent us an email this week giving the theme and all the details. It's on October 24th, and I'll be getting a chance to perform or tell a story in front of like a huge crowd in the main theater in Miami at the Olympia Theater. And I'm super excited about that because I love telling stories, and the fact that I'm being recognized for telling a story, it's dope. So granted, I think I haven't,
Is the theme moth memes?
Nope.
Is it light bulbs?
Nope.
Is it anything bright or anything? Okay.
On that note, ladies and gentlemen, now's the time to come to the end of the show. We once again appreciate you for joining us on this journey to our collective tops. If you like what you hear, please recommend it to a friend, and also leave us a review on Apple Podcasts. Let us know what you think. We're open to feedback. Shoot us a DM. shoot us something that makes you happy. Let us know. We want to hear what you have to offer, and we're super excited that you follow along with this show. We hope you have an amazing and productive week, and we'll see you next Wednesday. Deuces. We have a couple shout outs we want to give. Shout out to Adian Lewis for our interstitial music, to Geno Music for our wonderful theme song called Won't Stop. To learn more about our challenges, go to y'allboystalkin.com or follow us on Instagram and Twitter and Facebook at y'allboystalkin. New episodes every single Wednesday.